All right, then we'll call the meeting to order and let the record show that all members are present from all jurisdictions. So,
Do we have Miller?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we don't see Rick Miller. Yeah, my apologies.
okay, well, I'll amend that then. Call the meeting to order and let the record reflect that all members are present with the exception of Mayor Miller from Waite Park, at the moment anyway. We'll go on then to, first of all, any additions to the agenda?
Yes, I'd like to add item 11A. That will be consideration of 2021-2022 St. Cloud 742 School District contract. And that will be given by Dave Green.
All right. That sounds good. With that addition, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Hunster, motion to approve with the addition.
That's almost second.
Been moved second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those, hearing none. Ryan, would you take the roll?
Dave Kleiss?
Aye.
John Libert?
Aye.
Kurt Hunstinger?
Aye.
Ryan Fitzum?
Aye.
That passes unanimously. I'll move on to the items in the consent. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve by Fitzum.
Second, Libert.
It is moved in second. Any discussion on those items? Hearing none. All those in hearing none. Ryan, take the roll, please.
Dave Kleiss?
Aye.
John Libert?
Aye.
Kurt Hunstinger?
Aye.
Ryan Fitzum?
Aye.
It passes unanimously. And as I'm walking, Ryan, if you could just go through these items one by one, the next item on the agenda, or actually the open forum. First of all, is there anybody here for the open forum?
No, not at this time.
Okay, so seeing none, we will move on to the next agenda item.
Next agenda item would be resolution 2021-05, setting preliminary levy on taxable property in transit area, and that will be given by Connie Robinson.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. So today in your packet is Resolution 2021-05. Just a couple of highlights. In regards to wages, there's an equal COLA along with the step increases for the applicable employees following the union contracts and the non-union pay grade system. And then also commission pay is budgeted at $75 per meeting for all commissioners. With that, the levy requested is the $3,136,403, which is the same as it has been since 2019. So staff is asking the commission to approve the 2022 budget and capital improvement plan and approve the 2022 preliminary tax levy of $3,136,403. We need to have the preliminary levy to the counties prior to September 15th. And then in August, we'll ask for the final levy approval before the start of our fiscal year on October 1st. And if there's any questions, I can answer those at this time.
I have one on the item that you mentioned, going through there with the budget item on commissioners, on the money allocated for pay. I know we've talked about this in the past, and we're waiting for a budget cycle to do this, but under the definition, from what I read, it's salary. And I know a lot of cities, we have over the years had this discussion, going away from what would be considered a per diem. And we don't even call it per diem, we call it salary. So wouldn't it make more sense, since that budget is allocated at one meeting a month, on average, that's what we have. In most cases, these meetings are short, of just making that, since it already says salary, just the monthly stipend instead of, or the monthly salary, instead of on a per meeting basis. And I don't know, I throw that out. I think that's already what the definition is. I don't think it changes the budget dollars much. There may be a time where there's an extra meeting, but that's rare. There may be a time that we don't have a meeting. And quite frankly, the last year since we've been doing this remotely, I don't see, when you do something on a per meeting basis, that to me is the definition of per diem. And if that is designed to cover travel costs and and those types of things, then online, we certainly haven't had that over the last year. So maybe, I would, and I don't know if that's, what other commissioners feel, but I think it just makes more sense to just, since it's already called salary, that's just the dollar amount that's given on a monthly basis rather than on a per meeting basis, because that can be, especially when some of our meetings are only last 10 to 15 minutes, if that.
Hey, this
So-
is Miller. I'm on the phone. I can't see it, but I'm on the phone.
Okay, so you let the record reflect that Mayor Miller is also with us, so everyone's here in attendance. What do commissioners feel about that?
I'm fine moving away from the per diem. I guess I don't have strong feelings either way. I agree with your comment on technology and having a per diem seems challenging.
And I think it's already called, is it not, Ryan? Or maybe is it called salary in the definition?
Yeah, we have it, we refer to it as a salary, a commissioner's salary.
Okay, then it doesn't matter what meetings it would be. It's just that's paper.
I'm on a meeting. I'll give you a call back.
Anyone else have any feelings either way?
No, this, Mayor Place, this is Kurt Hunsticker. I agree also. I get it. I don't get per diems at the city. It's a salary per month. So I think this is right in line with that too.
Just terminology.
Okay. Well, if it doesn't change the budget, just changes the definition of what it is, and then it's just on a monthly basis. So if that seems to be the consensus, unless there's any objection, can that just reflect it in our overall motion for the preliminary levy? I'm assuming there'll still be more discussion on other parts of it. Is that
Yeah,
acceptable?
and it's just the memo here. So on the resolution, it's not part of that resolution. So I'll just make note of that.
Okay. Any discussion on the preliminary levy and budget? I like that you're keeping it at the same rate.
Yeah, I
good.
guess that's one question, Mayor Kleiss, I did have was, I think I heard we're keeping it at the same rate that it has been since 2000. Is that correct?
2019.
Or
This is
excuse
the
me,
fourth
yeah,
year.
Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
And then the other part, the item that I'm struggling with is that we did get the 7 million odd change of funding to cover our losses incurred through COVID. I brought this up last year when we were looking at this budget or setting the levy, and I struggle to to continue to tax our residents when we do have other means to fulfill the gap that is in place. And so while we're sitting on the $7 million, we're continuing to tax our residents to cover the cost of transit authority. So conceptually, I struggle with that.
If you don't mind if I address that,
Really?
we're trying to keep it kind of that lazy river where we're not doing the ebbs and flows of, reacting to what we have. And then all of a sudden, like in 2026, we have some larger capital items. So then we would have to go up with our levy. So we're trying to keep that at a steady flow, if that helps. So we're not doing this roller coaster ride with the levy amounts.
Yep, and I can appreciate that as well. I think, I also think it forces us to live within our means a bit by spending it down now and costing it later when we're not recovering from a pandemic. But totally understand your view on it and the reasoning for it.
Mayor Place, this is Kurt Hunsticker again. I had a kind of a question. I'm looking out at the budget, and
Sure.
I will take on to what Ryan said also. I understand what you're doing with that, but I'm looking at, we haven't charged fares, but yet we're looking at, if I'm not mistaken, it's a $4 million hub that we budgeted for in 2023.
Yes.
I just have some reservations about spending money if we don't know how the ridership's going to come back, but I'm assuming of the $4 million, some of that's going to be federal and state money?
That's correct. We have that, we have the $1 million budget or grant funding for the land acquisition and also for the transit hub in 2024.
Okay.
You know, it's there, and we're in the preliminary stages of that too.
Okay.
How much?
Commissioner Hunter, this is Paula. I just want to quick jump in and kind of address Kurt's issue and then yours as well. So the other piece of the CARES, again, we're trying to keep the tax levy consistent, but then we're looking at, again, loss in revenue, not only from fares, but also from, say, like St. Cloud State university contracts and, you know, those other revenue earning contracts that we haven't received either. And so that CARES Act funding is going to offset those revenue losses as well. And then regarding the Western Transit Hub, we have $1 million in federal funding set aside for the land acquisition, and that funding has been secured and is in place. And then we have $4 million as a combination of both state and federal. $3.2 million is state bonding and general fund at the state level for that Western Transit Hub, and that would the way that reads is that the funding would be secured effective in 2023, and so the building wouldn't even necessarily have to start until after that time point. And so again, there's certainly time to address it if we see things, you know, trends falling in other directions. We did have two separate, the long-range plan and also the feasibility study, which was completed in 2019, that both showed growth potential in that area. And showed a lack of Metrobus coverage there as well. So that's kind of why we chose that area. And again, the funding is in place for the federal level. The funding is in place for the land acquisition, which is a separate funding source from the building itself, which would be in 2023.
Okay. Thanks, Paula.
Yeah, that I think with knowing, you know, I agree with Kurt, we don't know what ridership's going to look like. We don't know in a lot of cases what anything's going to look like, you know, economically anywhere in the country or the world for that matter. So I think knowing that that's prospective, and if something happens where there's a change, you know, we can turn back federal dollars or hopefully maybe reroute them to where the need may be. I agree too on just the levy part. But it seems to be, and you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, if we're as long as we're plugging holes, especially with lack of ridership, you know, lack of the contract with the university, lack of some of those other things, that's fine. But if we're spending new money that has tails, I'd be more inclined to not even keep the levy at that level. But there's nothing new in here that puts us in a that has tails other than I'm assuming our labor contracts. That's what's concerning me more than anything is the lack of operators and what that's going to look like the next time we go through negotiations for salaries. I think we're all going to be looking at that, whether our cities are or, you know, private business. I mean, we're seeing that right now, and that's, I think, the most unstable element. And maybe things will change in September. Maybe things will change when some of the federal funds are gone. But I'd like to at least have the cushion to not have us have to ever raise that levy. I like keeping it flat and keeping it, I mean, we've kept it even flatter than growth. I haven't even kept it at the point of capturing the growth. So I don't want to have us all of a sudden in the future or a future board have to raise that. So maybe my question is there anything in here that's additional from where we would otherwise be that has tails?
Paula, can you answer that?
Yep, I can. And to answer your question, Mayor Kleiss, no, there isn't. It's literally the kind of additional items that we've got listed in there are insurance, additional insurance for technology, again, because we're doing more things that are moving towards cloud-based, and then also with the kind of Microsoft, the Outlook scare that occurred, we didn't have insurance to cover those, and so we did add insurance for that liability in case that's there in the future. And then, again, just the COLA and then what was agreed upon with one of the unions, that's kind of across the board. We did have an increase in some of the other licensing fees, but there's nothing new or additional other than that insurance piece that's been budgeted throughout the years. That's really the only piece. And again, the reason that we're doing that piece is because of what had occurred this past fiscal year with the kind of technology scare that had occurred.
Well, that sounds good. I think also just looking into the future, and I hope things, change. Obviously, what we have right now currently is a huge labor shortage, and we're going to need a lot more people in our region to fill the job demand going forward. And transit and transportation has always been a big part of that. So if we can do that at a keeping a flat rate or at a low cost, and keeping some of that reserve going forward, I think makes sense to me. Anyways, any other comment on the levy or questions for our folks? And hearing none, do we have a motion to approve?
Let's make a motion to approve the budget as presented.
Second, Lippert.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion on the budget and the levy? Hearing none, Ryan, then would you take the roll, please?
Dave Kleis,
Aye.
John Lippert,
Aye.
Kurt Hunstinger,
Aye.
Ryan Fitzum,
Aye.
Rick Miller,
Aye.
Passes then unanimously. The next item, Ryan?
Item number 10, Resolution 2021-06, Categorical Exclusion, Environmental Review, Land Acquisition, Dave Green.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. So as we alluded to a little bit in the budget, there is some money set aside for the land acquisition that is kind of this preliminary first piece of the Western Transit Hub that we're looking at. And so as part of that, it was identified in our most recent long-range plan, as well as our feasibility study that was done, there is growth on the western side, and that we should look at some further development in that area. So this is kind of that first phase, if you will, towards moving towards that direction. And so as part of that, we put out an RFP for services for this. We had 3 responses from 3 different organizations. And so based on experience, cost, all of those different things, we decided to go with KLJ Engineering at a cost of $65,678. And so that is going to include all of the components that go with the land acquisition piece, except for there'll be a real estate component that is with that. That's usually paid for by the seller. And so this will cover management of the project, paperwork, submission to the FTA, the appraisal fees, all of the things that go along with that, other than that real estate commission. So we are asking for approval of the resolution to sign a contract with KLJ Engineering to move forward with that project.
Okay, first of all, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Fitzum.
Second, Miller.
All right, motion and seconded. Discussion. Any? All right, hearing none. Ryan, please take the roll.
Dave Kleis,
Aye.
John Lippert,
Aye.
Kurt Hunstinger,
Aye.
Ryan Fitzum,
Aye.
Rick Miller.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Next item, Ryan?
Item 11 and 11A, consideration of 2021-2022 St. Cloud Technical Community College and St. Cloud School District 742 Joint Powers Agreement. That will be both given by Dave Green.
Good afternoon again, Commissioners. These are just kind of a couple of housekeeping items, nothing new from previous years. As you recall, we've kind of shored everything up, and the technical college, the District 742 and St. Cloud State. We've kind of gotten everybody on the same pay scale here as far as fares go. And so this is just the kind of renewal contracts for the year. We have been requested, we've had a request from St. Cloud State to give them a little bit of extra time working on their budget. So we'll be bringing that forward next month with either a request, well, potentially bringing it forward next month with a request to approve that contract. But for now, nothing is changing from previous years. We're still at the 90 cents a ride for the technical college and the District 742 school district. Really kind of the only difference is that the technical college, they budget and they monitor and kind of keep an eye on that. We short everything up. District 742, they have a little bit different system with their passes and things like that, but it's essentially the same. We invoice each of them each month and they pay for their rides. And so this would obviously go back into effect once we start collecting fares. So really not a whole lot changed from the previous year.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
Miller to approve.
Munstiger, second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Discussion. Any discussion or comment? Questions? Hearing none, then Ryan, please take the roll.
Dave Kleiss,
Aye.
John Libbert,
Aye.
Kurt Hunstinger,
Aye.
Ryan Fitzum,
Aye.
Rick Miller.
Aye.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Next item, Ryan.
Department update, item number 12, CEO update. That'll be given by myself. Commissioners, good afternoon once again. On Saturday, July 10th, St. Cloud Metrobus hosted the 33rd annual MIPTA State Bus Rodeo. 26 operators from around the state, 7 of them were Metrobus employees, all competed for the top prize. I'm happy to announce once again, Metrobus has the safest operator in the state of Minnesota. Bus operator David Peacock took home first place in the Paratransit division. This is his 3rd time winning at the state level in his 20-year career. He will have the opportunity to compete nationally later this year. We also have another Metrobus employee, Larry Dolan, who won the prestigious Driver's Choice Dwayne Duffner Memorial Award, which is voted on by competitors at the rodeo. This award recognizes the bus operator who was the most helpful to their colleagues at the rodeo event. Congratulations to Larry and David and to all the Metrobus employees and staff who competed and volunteered their time at the event. Once we resume to in-person meetings, we will have a photo opportunity at our October board meeting with both David and Larry, with them holding the trophies.
Oh, congratulations to them. That's really cool.
Yeah, exciting.
Operators, that's good.
Now I would turn it over to, go ahead.
Did you participate, Ryan?
Well, locally, Metrobus staff competed locally, but I won't share my score on the record.
Okay, well, well, we're
There
gonna
you
find
go.
out. We'll just do a data request and find out what that was.
But it was fun. We had a few employees competed. Yeah, actually, a few employees on this call, we competed just locally, just for bragging rights. But a couple of employees on the call. I won't mention no names. We just keep our scores to ourselves.
All right, that's good. Well, congratulations again to David and Larry. That's cool. We've had some high quality operators competing. It's cool to be able to do that.
Yeah. Now I would turn it over to Missy for a paratransit update. This is item number 13, given by Missy Kramer. You're muted, Missy.
Sorry about that. Good afternoon, commissioners. As Ryan said, I'll be giving the paratransit update for Dial-A-Ride. Looking at our preventable accidents for the first half of the year, we are at 3 preventable accidents. That's for October through June of fiscal year 2021. Comparing that to fiscal year 2020, we had a total of 7. So hopefully we can maintain that or be under that for this full year. Looking at our ridership, first 3 months of fiscal year 2020 and comparing that with fiscal year 2021, I do have a slide here I'll try to show you. Let's see. Can you guys see my screen there?
No, I. If anybody else can.
Oh, I can't because my computer doesn't want to let me in, but.
You're on the phone, Rick. You still on a rotary phone or?
Wade Park hasn't gotten internet yet, apparently.
I got the operator. The operator connects me.
Oh, Sarah.
Missy, I think you have to drag it down to your actual Surface screen to share it.
There we go. Yeah, we see it now, Missy.
Okay.
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, so just comparing fiscal year 2020 to fiscal year 2021, we are still down on the dial-a-ride ridership. However, you can see that the trend from October to November into December kind of followed the same pattern. And then here you can see the big drop, of course, for the effects of COVID in 2020, and we're continuing just to kind of climb here in 2021. We did have that from the highest ridership, comparing the 14,350 to our highest here in 2021 of 9,487. We're still down about 33%. For fiscal year 2021, we continue to increase each month, with the exception of the 2 small decreases in November and in May. That's a 32% increase from October to June. If I can stop sharing. And then just looking at our on-time performance, our average on-time performance from October to May is maintaining at 96%. That is the average. We are about 96% each month. Also, our bus fleet is continuing to get traded out. We recently added 8 new buses to the dial-a-ride fleet. 7 of them were dial-a-ride, 1 of them was Connects. We do have 5 more that are in progress. 3 dial-a-ride, 2 Connects. We did find out that due to the delays in manufacturing, we don't expect to see those the next order before summer of 2022. And those are all replacements to our fleet. Upcoming, we're just going to continue to monitor the ridership as it continues to increase, and make adjustments where needed with the shortage of staff. We are looking forward to the open house scheduled for the end of July, in hopes to fill some more of those vacancies. And as Ryan mentioned, our dial-a-ride operator, David, will be attending the National Rodeo that is November 6th and 7th in Richmond, Virginia.
All right, thank you. Anything else, Ryan?
No, this completes our agenda as presented.
All right, there's not hearing nothing else. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Miller, move to adjourn.
Hunstiger, second.
Deliberation or?
I'm sorry, I had a technical difficulty there. Did you ask
No,
me?
we got a motion in the. We got a motion in a second.
He found someone watering the lawn.
That's right.
That's right. I'm just issuing a citation. All right, we had a motion in a second. Take the roll.
Dave Kleis,
Aye.
John Libbert,
Aye.
Kurt Huntsniger,
Aye.
Ryan Fitzum,
Aye.
Rick Miller.
Aye.
And we are officially adjourned at 4:30. Have a rest of a wonderful evening and rest of the week.